What if I told you, Albert Einstein's brain was stolen right after he died? And not by some black market body snatcher, but by the very doctor who did his autopsy. This is the bizarre, true story of how Einstein's brain vanished, resurfaced, and traveled across the United States for decades in jars. On April 18, 1955, Albert Einstein died at Princeton Hospital in New Jersey at the age of 76. His final request? That his body be cremated, nothing be idolized or studied. But that didn't quite go as planned. The autopsy was performed by a relatively unknown pathologist, Dr. Thomas Harvey. During the procedure, without the permission of Einstein's family, and certainly without Einstein's consent, Harvey removed Einstein's brain. Not just removed it, he kept it. Harvey preserved the brain in formaldehyde, then dissected it into around 240 blocks. He embedded the pieces in a rubbery substance called collodion, and made dozens of microscope slides from them. He sent some slides to researchers across the United States, but he never had any formal approval to do this. When the Einstein family found out, they were furious. But Harvey convinced them his intentions were purely scientific. Eventually, they gave conditional approval. The brain could only be studied for legitimate science, not spectacle. Harvey lost his job shortly after the autopsy and moved from New Jersey. Guess what moved with him? Einstein's brain, in jars, inside a cider box. He stored it in basements, closets, even the trunk of his car. For decades, no one really knew where it was. In 1978, a journalist named Stephen Levy tracked Harvey down. He found him, living in Kansas, with Einstein's brain still in jars. That interview became legendary. The brain hadn't been forgotten, just hidden. Over the years, scientists studied Einstein's brain. Some claimed his parietal lobes were unusually shaped, that's the region linked to math and spatial reasoning. Others pointed out a higher ratio of glial cells, which support neurons. But most of these findings, they were criticized for small sample sizes, lack of proper control groups, and honestly, some pretty unclear methodology. In other words, nothing conclusive. No secret of genius uncovered. Dr. Harvey held onto the brain until his death in 2007. In 2010, what remained of Einstein's brain was donated to the National Museum of Health and Medicine in Maryland. Parts of it are also on display at the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia, so Einstein's brain did eventually find a home, but its journey remains one of science's strangest detours. Einstein once said, "The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious." Little did he know, the biggest mystery might be what happened to his own brain. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Archive Facts for more wild stories from history and science.